Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Beasley Field for our quarterfinal matchup between Team Ontario 2, the Newmarket Nighthawks, and Team Manitoba, the Elmwood Giants. I'm Aiden Robertson here, alongside the High Button Sports crew, and I am delighted to bring you this matchup between two teams looking to move on to the semifinals here at the U22 National Championship. We'll go over the lineups here as we'll see how Newmarket lines up defensively. On the mound, they are going to go with Jared Lund today, as he will try to get his team into the semifinal and prevent them from going home early. Behind the plate is going to be Ethan Murdy. On first base is going to be Ashton Feo. Third base, CJ Morey, and up the middle it'll be Reed Lunny and Jacob Chelupika. The outfield will be, in the middle, Ben Sidorenios. In right field, Jaden Hums. And in left field, Eric Lucas. And they will go up against the following lineup for the Giants. The usual leadoff hitter, Justin Scott. He's playing right field today. Dylan Duguay, the human vacuum cleaner, at second base. Owen Harms batting third at shortstop. Adam Sendon, the first baseman. Riley Craw playing third. Easton Grieve going to be designated hitter today. Owen Nychik back behind the plate after taking this morning's game off. Ryan Botterill going to be playing left field, and Darnell Wyke making his second consecutive start in center. And it appears Newmarket's ready to rock, but we're going to have the grounds crew come out and have a peek at first base, as it wasn't quite in fair territory. So we will have to wait a few more minutes here before first pitch. Scheduled 5 o'clock start pushed back to 5:15, as each team had games earlier on today. We had to wait for an umpire crew to come over from Mainland Common over in Halifax. As you see, the Team Ontario coach here coming out with a sideways hat. Very interesting look. Rally cap of sorts. And you see the coach has now removed his hat, but he came out with the most stylish look of the tournament. We're having serious issues over at first base. We've got an umpire looking at it, a member of each coaching staff looking at it. From up here, it looks like it certainly isn't in fair territory. Our grounds crew has been excellent all weekend. We'll see what they can do for us here, and there's not really much of anything happening. We will see if we can find anything out here from our eyes in the sky. The cameraman located to my right here in the broadcast booth. You can tell the players are antsy to get going here. How couldn't you be? Work hard all summer for this opportunity to play in the U22 Baseball Nationals. Here we are, and we have a lot of bodies coming in to look at this base. So we were going to take a short break here and try and figure out when we're going to have a first pitch. Stay tuned, as we'll be back shortly here on High Button Sports. And our crew chief home plate umpire, Mr. Obey, has just let us know here. Really appreciative of him screaming up to us. It's very rare that the umpires communicate with us here in the broadcast booth, but he's let us know the foul line is off. So this is probably going to be a hefty delay, as they're going to need to do some work with the chalk, as it's not just the base. The base is not the issue. So hang tight. We appreciate you tuning in. and we will hopefully get this game underway here shortly on High Button Sports. And finally, we are just about set here to get going with our first pitch as we had the grounds crew come out and chalk the line properly. Much thanks to our friend of the show, Ken Lenahan, for sorting out the base and in the foul line. He took charge out there, as you can see him walking off the field. Unsung hero, one of many unsung hero volunteers here at the tournament between Beasley Field and Mainland Commons. Ken, of course, president of Bedford Minor Baseball and a coach in the Tri-County region. Well respected, as is the entire Lenahan family. Umpire says he's ready to go, and here we go. The announcement's being made as Justin Scott, the leadoff hitter for Team Manitoba. Excellent hitter. He had a great morning at the plate today in a 9-1 rout of the Kentville Wildcats. He was the spark plug at the top of the order. He gets his feet set. And we are ready to go as first pitch is in there for a called strike at 5:23. So it only ended up being an 8-minute delay here. And quickly, Jared Lund working ahead. The 0-1 up and in. A little bit of chilly chin music there, as Matt Doodley likes to call it. So Scott drawing even. Swings and misses at that one. And he just missed it, and you know he wanted it, the high heat. Lund to southpaw. Has his knees buckling as he comes set. And delivers a nice low delivery, and that one just misses the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Count even now. Delivery fouled back, and we've seen a lot of these great battles here and some great at-bats all weekend long. Any way you can is the saying. Certainly rings true here in a do-or-die game for both teams. Both teams coming a long way. Don't want to go home early. That one whiffed, an off-speed pitch, and a good one by Lund as Scott set down on strikes to start the ball game. Newmarket grabbing the higher seed, and this one finishing 2-2 in the round robin. Very breezy evening here at Beasley at the end of a very, very hot day, as you could probably hear the wind coming through the mic. Apologize for that. And the first pitch by Duguay ripped to shortstop, and the throw on to first quickly. Duguay retired on one pitch. Smooth play there at shortstop by Reed Lunny. And that'll bring in the 3-hole hitter, Owen Harms. Shortstop for Team Manitoba. He's been great in the field. Pretty solid at the plate as well. So gives the toes a tap. We've got a lefty-on-lefty matchup here. Usually favors the pitcher. That one foul tip into the catcher's mitt. Good job squeezing it there by Murdy, the backstop for the Newmarket club. So quickly 0-1. And the delivery. Called strike right there, and Harms knew it. So now 0-2. Lund working ahead. Looking to get out of the first inning unscathed. Pitch fouled off by Harms, and he'll get another crack at it. 0-2 once more. And looks like our home plate umpire talked to the Manitoba dugout. They'd get spoken to 3 or 4 times a game about staying inside the dugout. The 0-2 once more. Cut on and missed at the chin. And so a very efficient inning here to begin the ball game for Jared Lund on the mound. 2 strikeouts and some help from his shortstop. It's 3 up, 3 down, and we will come back for the bottom half of the first inning with Newmarket coming to the plate here on High Button Sports. Top half of the first inning went very, very smooth for this Newmarket team, the Newmarket Hawks, and they will come to the plate here, and here's how they'll line up today. The center fielder, Ben Sidorenios, leading off. Reed Lunny, the Brock Badgers shortstop, batting second. CJ Morey in the 3 spot playing third base. Ethan Murdy behind the dish today, batting cleanup. Jacob Chelapika, the second baseman. Ashton Feo, the first baseman. Ethan Boisvert will do the DHing today. Eric Lucas playing left, and rounding out the order is Jaden Hums in right field. So that's what Newmarket is going with in this do-or-die game, as the throw down to 2 signals the end of the warm-up pitches for Connor Corey on the mound for Team Manitoba, and here's how they'll line up defensively. The outfield, Ryan Botterill, Darnell White, Justin Scott left to right. Riley Craw and Adam Sendon on the corners. Owen Harms, Dylan Duguay up the middle. Behind the dish, Owen Nychik, and as I mentioned, Connor Corey on the mound. We saw him pitch the first game of the tournament in a 5-0 loss to the Dartmouth Renegades, who have moved on to the semifinal along with the Fredericton Royals. Later today in the other quarterfinal matchup, we'll have the PEI All-Stars, as that first pitch of the day for Corey is over for a strike. The PEI All-Stars will be taking on the other Ontario representative, the Kitchener Panthers. That game set to start shortly after 8 o'clock. We'll be here at High Button Sports. There's a foul tip into the catcher's mitt quickly, 0-2. Corey working ahead, as he did much of the evening on Thursday. My colleague Jeff Warburton will have the call for you later this evening. The 0-2 from Corey, working out of the stretch as he always does. Breaking ball, ripped to the left side and foul, and a error there on the third base coach. Half-hearted reach as he blows off his fingers to try and cool them down. So we'll have the 0-2 once more. And the umpire is going to wait for the Newmarket player to go all the way down and get that, something we haven't seen at all this tournament, and a rather inefficient way to move this ball game along, if you ask me. We've had a very good pace of play so far this weekend. And we're finally ready here for the next 0-2. A breaking ball popped up near the broadcasting booth and over into the track, as we'll have a ball boy go and retrieve that for us. Kind of. One of the slower efforts we've seen from the ball kids this week. The 0-2 once more. Fastball, and that's hit to the second base side, and Dylan Duguay's all over it, and of course, he makes everything look routine over there at second base. Duguay flips it onto first for the first out of the inning. Reed Lunny will dig in now, the shortstop for Newmarket, as I mentioned. Brock Badgers player, University of Brock in Ontario. He'll dig in the left-handed batter's box. Corey's set for the delivery. Fastball ripped towards the middle, and nobody's going to get there, and that'll be a base hit. So Newmarket has a base runner here as Lunny rips one right back where it came from. Nice piece of hitting there. And that'll set up the big dogs, the 3 and 4 hitters. CJ Morey will come in as the third base coach, delivering the signs. Corey getting his set of signs from his catcher, Nychik. Runner not moving from first. That one up and in. As Corey establishing the inside part of the plate. Infielders at double play depth, of course. Looking to turn 2 would be a great way to get Corey out of this inning for Team Manitoba and back into that dugout. Sizable lead at first, not going. Fastball. Called strike on the outside part of the plate. Looked like Corey might have lost his footing a little bit there, and he wipes his hand off on his pants. Looked like he might have somewhat slipped. But regardless, it worked as the count's 1-1. Good running count here. We'll see what Lunny does at first. Pickoff move as Manitoba was thinking the same thing, but Lunny back in plenty of time. Lunny takes his lead. Sizable once again, not going though, and a big swing and a miss by Morey. at the high fastball, and he's now behind 1-2. Corey comes set and pauses. Delivery of breaking ball called, strike 3 on the outer part of the plate. Much to the displeasure of C.J. Morey, as that'll go down as a backwards K, and the first strikeout of the evening for Connor Corey. Manitoba avoided going 0-4 with a win this morning against the Kentville Wildcats, as I mentioned. Getting a complete game from their pitcher in that one, as the first pitch to Murdy is inside. Murdy's got some power, the home run derby participant for Newmarket. Corey comes set, has a peek at the runner. As that pitch cut on in the left field, Ryan Botterill's going to chase that down, and he's not going to have a play as it drops foul. So the count will now move to 1-1. Manitoba won big this morning. 9-1 the final there. And Kentville just found out that they were bumped out of a position to move to the quarterfinal due to the PEI All-Star team defeating the Marlins earlier this afternoon. Metro Marlins finishing up 0-4. There's a fastball ripped over the head of Corey and back up the middle again. So 2 singles, both of them right back where they came from. Both of them good pieces of hitting from the Newmarket Hawks. As they'll have 2 on for the second baseman, Jacob Chelapica. Runners on first and second here. Chelapica makes a little design in the dirt as he steps into the box. In the first pitch, runner sizable lead at second base. Corey's paying attention. He's not moving. Breaking ball, and that's in there for a strike. A beautiful pitch by Corey. We saw him use it effectively in his outing on Thursday against the Renegades. It was Manitoba errors that had cost them on Thursday. Knocked Corey out of the ball game. Step off towards second. Trying to keep that runner's lead in check. So the count 0-1. We'll try it again. Coming set is Corey. That pitch in the dirt, and a great block by Nychik, who has been very, very good defensively behind the plate all weekend. He had the morning off today. Was not behind the plate, as it was Easton Grieve who was the backstop this morning. One and one. That one down and away as well. That one never had a chance of hitting the zone. Coming out of the hand. So it'll move forward to 2-1. The pitch cut on and hit to the right side, but it'll be well foul. So 2-2, and Corey will look to get out of this after 2 singles up the middle. And he'd like to keep this score knotted at 0 and get back into that dugout to allow his batters to try and get him a few runs. Some clapping there from Ethan Murdy on first base. Maybe a little mental game as a curveball is hit towards center field, and back goes Wyke. He's got a read on it, and he makes a difficult catch on the run to end the inning, much to the pleasure of the Manitoba faithful down the right field line, as Wyke made that one look much easier than it was. But that'll do it for the top half of the bottom half of the first inning, Newmarket with 2 hits. They leave both runners on no Manitoba errors. We'll come back with the second inning here on High Button Sports. We are all set here for the second inning. Scoreless through one. And Adam Senden, the cleanup hitter, the first baseman for Team Manitoba, will dig in and take his cuts as the umpire gives a thumbs up to someone over the Manitoba side and signals play. So here we go. First pitch from Lund, cut on, and it was a half-hearted swing, but he certainly went around as the home plate umpire rings him up on it. No balls and a strike. Beautiful evening for baseball here as the humidity has dropped. The sun beginning to set. Not too warm, a nice cross breeze. And the 0-1 pitch taken for a strike on the inside part of the plate. So Lund is looking very effective here with that fastball, getting ahead of batters. Beautiful night here just to be near Beasley Field. We've got the carnival going on down the left side. That one's fouled off. Senden will stay alive. See the Ferris wheel in motion, the tilt-a-whirl going as well. Canoe 22 down at Lake Bannock this weekend, the World Championship canoeing and kayaking. So a big weekend for Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. The 0-2 once more fouled off to the right side and onto the track into lane number 7. Nobody running on it, thank goodness. Oh, and 2 count once more to Senden, who's done a good job fighting a couple tough pitches here. Takes that one up and away, and a good waste pitch there from Lund on the mound. Oh, and 2 once more. Got on and missed for the third strikeout of the game for the Newmarket left-hander. As Senden set down on strikes, as was Harms and Scott in the first inning, and Riley Craw, the third baseman, will look to put a ball in play here and make the defense earn an out. Dig in one of the many left-handed bats for the Giants. He thought about swinging at the first pitch. It was a called strike anyway on the outside corner. Good spot for Lund. If he stays there all day, he shouldn't have very many problems. That one an off speed and a beauty, and it fooled Craw as it did me. Quickly 2 strikes, so Lund continuing to work ahead of each batter he's faced. The exception of the ground out to short on 1 pitch from Duguay, as that one's a rope into center field, and it's going to be a catch by Sidorenios as he jumps to reach that one. A hard hit ball, and the first one of the day for the Giants. But it results in an out nonetheless, as he might have got a little too much on it. So Easton Grieve, the designated hitter, will dig in. As I mentioned, he caught the game this morning, the 9-1 win against the Wildcats. A good batter from the left-handed side. Takes a fastball in there at the knees. Looks like Lund's velocity is very good. From up here, it's difficult to tell. But he certainly fooled some Giants batters so far. The 0-1 off speed, and a good job at changing the speeds there, as Grieve was well ahead of that one, sitting fastball. So it's 0-2 once more. Cut on and missed, and it was a high fastball. Grieve not happy with himself about that one. So the 4th strikeout of the evening already for Jared Lund. And the side is retired quickly once more for the Giants. We'll be back with the Hawks coming to the plate here on High Button Sports. Connor Corey throwing his final warm-up pitch here for the bottom half of the second inning, where the Newmarket Hawks will come to the dish with a chance to take the lead. We are scoreless here through 1.5. And Ashton Feo, the first baseman for Newmarket, will dig in. Rocking Ken Griffey Jr.'s signature 24. Corey comes set to deliver the first pitch of the inning, and it's cut on and hit to the left side. Foul ball. Two teams relatively quiet here. We've seen a lot of chirping from dugouts over the weekend. So we apologize, our cameramen sleeping over there. Cut to camera one. Nobody on it. That pitch taken down and in for a ball. 1 ball and a strike, as the delay there was to retrieve that foul ball down the left field line. One and one, a breaking ball. It didn't come down enough. So 2-1. Corey not taking much time in between pitches. Broadcaster's dream. Especially given the delays we've already had thus far. That one's a heater, and it's fouled towards the parking lot, looking for a vehicle, and it bounces, takes a hop, and narrowly misses about 5 cars, and will take a roll all the way down. So that's going to be a long walk for the ball boy to retrieve that one. It was hit a mile, but unfortunately it was hit at the wrong launch angle. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fastball inside, and look out. Feo, doing a good job getting out of the way. And that'll push the count to full 3 balls, 2 strikes. And here comes the payoff pitch from Corey. Fastball ripped to the right side, and Dylan Duguay sounding like a broken record up here as he flips it on to first for an out. The amount of times that I've had to write 4-3 in my scorebook here this weekend has been exceptional. I don't think I've written an E4 down in the Manitoba book either. So solid fielder Dylan Duguay here, and we've seen a lot of great talent over the weekend, as these are the best players in the country for the junior level. And it's been a treat. Come on down, catch the end of this game if you're able to. Catch the next quarterfinal as well. Grab a hot dog. It's National Mustard Day. Have a beer at the Spindrift Beer Tent as Corey fires one over that was just a little bit high to the batter, Ethan Boisvert, designated hitter. And he'll take that one at the knees for a strike. Get a read on what Corey has to throw him. Corey taking a little bit longer in between pitches here. Give himself a breath. Breaking ball, and it stayed high. Having trouble locating that curveball, not coming down enough, and the last thing you want to do to this dangerous Newmarket lineup is leave a hanger out there to be tagged into the Ferris wheel section down the left field side or into one of the houses down the right field side, as Boisvert takes a big cut at that fastball. Counts even 2-2. There's a fastball cut on and missed, and Boisvert wasn't very close on that one. Nychik electing to go down to first base on the throw around the horn, something you don't see very often, as Corey's got his second strikeout of the evening. Eric Lucas, the lefty, will dig in. First pitch in the dirt. Nychik lost sight of it. Count 1-0. That one misses out as well. Lucas, the 8th spot hitter, playing left field today. 2-0. Get me over fastball, cut on and fouled back off the backstop. Jaden Hums on that one in the on-deck circle. The 2-1 cut on and missed by Lucas as well, so the Newmarket having a tough time catching up to that fastball, and you got to wonder if Corey wants to use that a little bit more often here. The breaking ball's stayed upstairs. The fastball's been tough to touch. And here's the 2-2 to try and get out of the inning. Cut on, and it's hit up the middle again. It's going to be a tough play for the shortstop, Harms. He fires it onto first in time. What a play deep in the hole by Owen Harms. And he spins and fires that one onto the first baseman, Sendin, to end the inning. And the excellent display of defense from the Giants continues here this weekend. Now they'll have a chance at the sticks, heading to the top of the third here on High Button Sports. All set here for the top half of the third inning as the Giants looking to get their first base runner of the ball game. And a look over to our cameraman here, Justin Belanger, taking a seat, soaking in the sun. As I mentioned, beautiful night for baseball. And Owen Nychik, the backstop for the Giants, one of the best defensive catchers in the tournament, will take his first cuts of the ball game. And he'll take the first pitch upstairs. The catcher, of course, has a great feel for the strike zone. One of the most difficult positions in sports, in my opinion. Involved in every play. That pitch just missed outside. So for the first time all evening, Jared Lund has fallen behind a batter. So he's done a great job working ahead. The 2-0. Fastball, and that one missed low. So Lund is going to have to get one over here at risk of losing Nychik to first base and giving up his first base runner of the evening. Here it comes. Fastball, and that's the one he wanted. Took a little something off that one. Made sure he got it in there, and that he did. So now it's 3-1. You got to think Nychik wants to be patient. Make sure it's really pretty if he does take a hack. And it wasn't, so he fires the bat with a little bit of swag on his way down to first. And the Giants have a base runner. Let's see what they can do to build off it as Ryan Botterill, the left fielder, will dig in now. He did some pitching on Thursday night. Fared pretty well. Pitched 3 2/3 of an inning. Nychik getting an aggressive lead off first. Got to be careful of that pickoff move from the lefty. And the first pitch ripped to the right side, and it's underneath the glove of the first baseman, Feo. Nychik rounded second. He thought about 3, but decided against it. So following the walk, Botterill his first pitch swinging there, and will have himself a single and advance Nychik to 2. So the first 2 batters of the inning here for the Giants getting something going, and that'll bring up Darnell Wyke, the speedster, playing center field. Made a very nice catch in the first inning. And you think this might be a bunt situation here. Your 9-hole hitter. We'll see if the bunt's on here. Lund delivers, and he's showing bunt. As Lund spun around, trying to keep Nychik in check over there. The higher leg kick was a dead giveaway that there was going to be a pickoff move there, as generally Lund is delivering very low to the ground, a low center of gravity for the left-hander. Still showing bunt as Wyke, and he gets it down. Lund fields it cleanly, looked at 3, not going to get it, and will fire it onto first. So Darnell Wyke does his job with the sacrifice bunt. Will advance Nychik to third and Botterill to second base. And that'll turn it over to the big dogs and Justin Scott, a very talented hitter with a chance to drive in both runners that are in scoring position. Just one away. A single might score 2. A fly ball likely scores 1. And Jared Lund's just trying to work out of it as Scott struck out his first time up. Takes the first pitch upstairs. The Manitoba dugout's starting to get going here. Making a little bit of noise. The 1-0 taken upstairs and inside as well. Manitoba had a heartbreaking loss yesterday to the Kitchener Panthers. Down 6-1, much similar to how it's gone today. Their dugout quiet to begin the ball game, but then all of a sudden a 5-run inning ended up bringing it back. They ended up going up 7-6 before giving up a 2-run homer from A.J. Carosas of Kitchener and falling 8-7. And Scott hits one to the left side, and that's a seeing eye single. Nychik's going to score, and they are going to hold up Botterill, but Justin Scott keeps doing what he's been doing, and he'll have himself an RBI single there. Dylan Duguay will take his cuts next. Try to keep the rally going here for the Giants. We'll see if Scott's going to be on the move here from first base. Got to be careful of that left-handed pickoff move. Be a good pickoff situation. Runner not going, no pickoff move, and the ball's popped up by Duguay. First baseman Feo's underneath it. He'll make the grab. And Duguay, for the second time today, is retired on 1 pitch. So with 2 down now, Owen Harms coming off a spectacular play deep in the hole, more on the second base side of the field to end the last inning. He'll now try and get it done with the bat, which he has this weekend. He struck out his first time up, but he's no slouch at the dish. He's got runners on the corners here. Lund delivers an off-speed pitch that's taken low, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Manitoba trying to drive in their second run of the inning. Newmarket trying to get out of it. That pitch fouled back and off the mesh behind home plate and above the official scorer's booth. So the count draws even 1-1. The 1-1 pitch here, coming from Lund. Checks the runner at first. And time's called to the plate as Harms wasn't ready for that one. I'll have to step out and adjust the batting gloves. Finally, he is ready. He'll dig back in. And we'll try the 1-1 once more. And a pickoff move to first. Scott froze him. And they got him. The left-handed pickoff move can be tricky, and it's a tough one to read. So Justin Scott, generally a good base runner, gets picked off at first. And he's not happy with himself. And those aren't the outs you want to be giving away here at the National Championship, especially in the quarterfinals. But we will head to the bottom half of the third inning here. Manitoba's on the board. They lead 1-0. Bottom half of the third inning, all set to get underway here, and it'll be the 9-spot hitter, Jaden Hums. Manitoba in the last half inning getting their first run of the ball game on a couple singles and a walk. And the rally was cut short after a pickoff move from Lund on the mound as Connor Corey delivers the first pitch strike to get himself started here in the third. So the announcer just announcing Hums' name now. He was a little bit tardy to that one. A nice breaking ball there from Corey, and that's what he's been looking for all evening. And if he can keep that coming, he'll be in for a successful outing here. The 0-2 pitch, there's the breaking ball, and it just missed, and the catcher, Nychek, acknowledges that's a great 2-strike pitch. A lot of batters would wave at that one, and Corey quickly ready to deliver the next one, and here it comes, fastball, and that's fouled off the foot of Hums, and that's a stinger. Those hurt at the plate, and we'll hope that he's okay here as he's down and very, very slow to get up. That was a high velo fastball cut on and hit hard by Hums directly down and off the inside of his leg, it looks like, as the coaches will come out and attend to him. Sidorenios is there as well, making sure his teammate is okay. As Nychek and Corey will have a meeting just in front of the mound. Hums now on his feet, getting claps from only one person in attendance here, and there we go. Now the crowd joining our CEO Justin Belanger, and it's good to see Hums is all right as he'll dig back in with a 1-2 count. One of the worst plays in baseball as a hitter is when you foul one off your foot in that leg area. The 1-2, breaking ball cut on and missed. And so that's a strikeout for Connor Corey, his third of the night. And Hums is sat down to start the inning. We'll turn it back over to the top of the order, Ben Sidorenios, the center fielder for Newmarket today. Digging in the right side. His first at bat, ground out to Duguay, and this one's hit to Harms at short, who scoops that one and fires it on, and a great throw. Makes it look easy, and these middle infielders for this team, Manitoba, continuing to put on a clinic. So quickly, Sidorenios goes down, and Reed Lunny will dig in. His first at bat, he had a single, and then was stranded at second base. Checks the signs from the third base coach. Can't imagine there'll be anything special on here with 2 outs and nobody aboard. Corey's worked efficiently since the first inning where Lunny and Murdy had some singles off of him. Since then, nothing doing for Newmarket. The first pitch was over low for a ball. Corey coming set. Pitches that one, called at the knees. Great location there. And if you're Corey, you want to live there, as they say. The 1-1. Change-up called, striking the outside part of the plate, and Lunny looks like he doesn't even know what hit him there. Probably wasn't expecting that. Didn't look like he was sitting on anything off speed for certain. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one fouled back through the 5-hole of Lunny as he just avoids taking one off the foot as well. We'll try the 1-2 over again. Here it comes. That one fouled directly back near the parking lot. So Lunny doing a good job staying alive as it hits a vehicle over in the parking lot to our left. 1-2 once more from Corey. That one's hit towards right center field. Wyke has a read on it. He's underneath it and will make the catch. So a quick inning for Connor Corey on the mound. Gets a little bit of help from the defense. And we will head to the fourth here. Score still 1-0 for the Giants on High Button Sports. Owen Harms going to lead off the inning here for Team Manitoba as the warm-ups are completed. The umpire is set as Harms' name comes over the loudspeaker. Singles play, and here we go. Lund on the mound, looking to shake off a little bit of trouble in that last inning as Harms swings at the first pitch. He'll have a second chance. He was down 1-2 in his last at-bat when Scott was picked off to end the third inning. Working ahead is Lund, and that one fouled off as well. That one looked like a bit of a defensive swing from Harms. So quickly 0-2, Jared Lund pitching aggressively. Look for the off speed here. And it certainly was, but it was taken low. Good waste pitch. Tough one to lay off as a batter. You're in protect mode. All you want to do is swing. So the count moves to 1-2 to Owen Harms, the shortstop. He'll foul that one off as well over towards the Happy Harry's tent. And on top of the Happy Harry's tent, scaring the living bejesus out of the Volunteers over there. Not so Happy Harry's, as Matt Dudelet tells me. A nice play on words there, as you've heard, I'm sure, all weekend on the Renegades games. And the 1-2 again. That one's ripped to the right-hand side, and that's going to get down for a single. And a hard hit ball there from Owen Harms. And the Giants have their leadoff man on. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Adam Sendon. Struck out his first at-bat. One of 4 victims so far. He was ready to go, but the coach asked him to step out and get some signs. Harm's a good runner. We'll see if they have anything on here. You got to be wary again, of course, of that pickoff move that we saw froze Justin Scott to end the last inning. Nothing happening here, and the first pitch is cut on and hit to the right side, and that's into foul territory, and it will stay foul. So 0-1, Lund ahead of another batter. Comes set. Not a very big leadoff at all from Harms. He's not going, and he didn't know whether that was going to the plate or near first base as the off-speed pitch taken outside. Count draws even at 1-1. Try it again. A good running count, but still not a very big leadoff. And there's another off-speed, cut on and missed, and Sendin wasn't particularly close to that one. So 1-2, strikeout situation, also a double play situation from Newmarket's standpoint. And a pickoff move here to first, and Harms was maybe a step off the base. You can tell they're very nervous about that pickoff move. They're having a hard time reading the lefty. As of course, it's just a step and throw for him to first base. Here's the pitch. Cut on and hit towards center field. Sidorenios, he's looking back, and he gets underneath it. Will make the grab for the first out of the inning. So Sendin put a good swing on that ball. But Sidorenios made a nice play to get back and underneath it, just in front of the warning track out there at center, in front of the 345 sign here at Beasley. Picturesque Beasley Field, as they call it. So Riley Krall dig in. He hit a ball to Sidorenios in his first at-bat, back in the second inning. Lund coming set. Delivers a breaking ball. He hits it to the right side, and that's just foul, called by the first base umpire. A nice diving effort there on first base by Feo. Tried to knock that down in fair territory and get an out of it. Every pitch that's delivered from Lund on first base, Harms he starts to lean back to first base. So he really is not confident at reading this pitcher whatsoever. And it is tough. It's a very deceptive pickoff move that Jared Lund has shown us thus far. Pitch taken low, and it's in the dirt. Harms is off, and the throw is wide right. And a good job by the second baseman there, Chelapika, to back up the throw. So Harms will take second base on the wild pitch. The count moves to 1-1 to the Giants' third baseman. Lund doing the little leg shimmy as he does. That pitch outside. 2-1. Some noise being made by the third base dugout with water bottles being clacked together by a member of the coaching staff. That pitch hit to the right-hand side. Feo knocks it down, and he will step on the bag himself for the out. But meanwhile, Owen Harms advances to third, so a productive out for the Giants. And there are two down for the designated hitter, Easton Grieve. In his first at-bat, he was a strikeout victim. He was very upset with himself. That pitch cut on and fouled back off the screen. Once again, some Manitoba players being instructed something by our home plate umpire. There's a pitch in the outside corner of the plate, and you wonder if an umpire has to keep talking to your dugout with the same thing over and over again all weekend. Some of those 50-50 calls probably not going your way. So the 0-2 pitch to Grieve is fought off and hit to the left side, fielded by the third baseman Maury, and he throws it on to first. And so Newmarket's going to get out of it with no damage. They strand the runner at third and give up just the one hit. They still trail 1-0 with a chance to come to bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning when we return on High Button Sports. All set now for the bottom of the fourth inning. So we are locked in a pitcher's duel here with Connor Corey and Jared Lund. And CJ Morey, the third baseman, who made the play to end the top half, will dig in for the second time. His first time up, he was caught looking at a pitch he definitely didn't like. We'll see what he's got for us this time. The first pitch, a breaking ball taken low. 1-0. Both pitchers working very efficiently. It's just 2 hits for Newmarket thus far. And on the Manitoba side, just 3 hits. But the big one, of course, the one on the scoreboard, as you see on the left-hand side of your screen there. The Giants leading 1-0, as that last pitch was taken for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Here it comes from Corey. That one bounced off home plate. It's going to be a tough play for Harms. He's going to barehand it, fire it, and it's not in time. And a heck of an effort there from Owen Harms, as the grass slowed that one right down, and unfortunately it gave him no chance to get Morey down at first. So that's going to be an infield single for CJ. And Newmarket, with their 3rd hit of the game, are going to try and get something going. And here comes the big boy, Ethan Murdy. Got some pop in his bat, rocking an excellent set of stirrups with the 3 stripes on them. We love stirrups here at High Button Sports. The first pitch, fastball up and away. CJ Morey taking his lead off of first base. He doesn't look very eager to go anywhere, especially with the big stick at the plate. There's a breaking ball and a beauty. Good strike there for Corey to draw it even back 1-1. It is a running count, but typically with your cleanup hitter at the plate, try not to take any ducks off the pond. So you want him with as many RBIs as possible. To have a massive lead there from CJ. He's timed up and a ball ripped to the right-hand side. And that's going to be fielded by Scott, who will get it in quickly and hold Morey at second base. But the second hit of the day for Ethan Murdy. And he's aboard and will move Morey up with nobody out. Jacob Chalapika now. His first time flew out to Darnell Wyke in center. It was a very nice play to end the first inning. Likely will be a candidate for our highlight reel of the weekend, which you can find on our High Button Sports Instagram page. He's showing bunt here, but will pull back and swing. Hits that one down the third base side, and a good effort there by the third base coach to run after that one. So Chalapika will dig back in. He's not showing bunt, although the first baseman, Sendon, is still playing in. He's showing bunt again just to get the Giants thinking. Pulls back, and you got to be careful for a hot shot down at first. And there's a ball ripped to third, and the third baseman, Craw, will make the play. He'll just step on third. He thought about going for the tag, thought about throwing to 2, and then by the time he stepped on third, had no play at 1. So that'll go down as a fielder's choice for Chalapika, and he will take first base, and Murdy will move up to second. And in steps Ashton Feo, the first baseman for the Hawks. First pitch ripped to the right side. It's going to be a tough play, and a diving Duque is not going to get there. It goes through the legs of Scott and right, and that's going to score Murdy. And they're going to have to hold Chalapika at third. So a seeing eye single on the right side, and then a ball through the wickets of the right fielder Scott is going to tie this ball game at 1. And Newmarket has some life now with just 1 away. They have runners on second and third. So that'll be scored the first error of the ball game for the Giants. An E9 in the book. As in steps the DH, Ethan Boisvert. First pitch upstairs. 1-0. Corey looking to settle back in here. He's been very good thus far. Trying to avoid any sort of big inning here. He's got runners on second and third and has himself a bit of a jam to work out of and a breaking ball taken outside. So 2-0 for Boisvert, the Duck Hunter, a.k.a. designated hitter, the DH. Struck out his first time up. One of just two strikeout victims. Three, pardon me. That one cut on and missed while he was ahead in the count, 2-0. So Corey looking to climb back. Newmarket looking to drive in the go-ahead run. Two and one pitch to Boisvert. Cut on and hit into the mesh in front of us. And stone cold nerves here in the broadcast booth. No screaming this time, as you can check out a clip on our Instagram and Twitter pages of Mark Moffat, one of our beloved commentators. It's a little jumpy this morning. The count's even now 2-2. Time called by someone. Not sure who, and it might have been Nychik, as he's going to go out and straighten out the signs. Maybe worried about some sign stealing, some trash can banging. Not to accuse Newmarket of anything. I'm sure it's a very honest game out there. As the sun creeps back out from behind the clouds, the breeze continues to blow as the flag's behind home plate here at Beasley Field, flapping in the wind. So Corey's set. Right side of the infield playing in, looking to cut that run at the plate. The 2-2, a waste pitch in the dirt, and so Boisvert has run it full. Nychik has blocked just about everything here this weekend. Certainly a candidate for the all-defensive team in our High Button Sports book here, as well as the second baseman Duguay. And Owen Harms, you got to think, was in contention as well. So a very good defensive team all around from the Manitobans. Payoff pitch, breaking ball called, strike three. What a bender there from Connor Corey. Backwards K, the second time Boisvert has gone down on strikes today. And Eric Lucas will get a chance to swing here, the 8-hole hitter playing left field. Left-hand side. Corey getting his sign. First pitch cut on and missed, and a big swing there from Lucas. So he's looking to drive in those runs awful aggressively. And Jack Kensett is standing in the on-deck circle, so he might have subbed in for Jaden Hums in right field and snuck it by me as there was no announcement. As Hums, of course, took the foul ball off his leg. So hopefully everything's all right with him. And the 0-1. Ball just missed the outside part of the plate. His first AB, Lucas grounded out to the shortstop. Back in the second. And that retired the side. Part of a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Giants. 1-1, ripped to the left side. Botterill calls off his center fielder and makes the catch. So Newmarket has drawn even on 2 hits and 1 Manitoba error, and we are tied up at 1 here going to the 5th. We've got a heck of a ball game, so stay with us here on High Button Sports. Top of the 5th inning here. Getting ready to get underway at Beasley Field in the quarterfinal of the U22 National Junior Championship, and it'll be Owen Nychik, the great defensive catcher for the Giants, digging in. He's the only run so far for Team Manitoba as Jared Lund back on the mound for his 5th inning work, and this one's fouled over our heads and onto the track, and somebody right on that ball. Count quickly 0-1. Nychik reached base on a walk his last time up. Later scored on a Justin Scott RBI single. The 0-1 caught on and fouled into the mesh in front of us as well. So quickly Lund working ahead. See a couple of the Newmarket faithful have popped outside the gate for a smoke as stress running high here. The nerves are shot. And the 0-2, breaking ball in the dirt, a good waste pitch. Trying to get Nychik swinging, but he's shown some great plate discipline. So it'll be 1-2 from Lund. Called strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. Nychik knew it. And there's one down on Jared Lund's 5th strikeout of the ball game. Then I'll bring in the left fielder Ryan Botterill. He had a single his first time up. And the first pitch, breaking ball upstairs. It was close, but no cigar. 1-ball count to Botterill. Rips that one to the right side, and the first baseman Feo will field it cleanly and step on first himself. 2 down. Darnell Wyke, the center fielder, will dig in. Doesn't have an official at-bat in this one as he had a sacrifice bunt his first time up, which ended up being helpful as that run came across. Score their only run of the ball game. He takes a cut and misses the first pitch. Falls behind 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch. Ball that just missed the outside corner, or perhaps was a little too high. Wyke looking to have a good at-bat here to the 9-hole hitter and turn it up to the big dogs, but he pops this one up behind first base. Feo's got no play, and a bunch of guys coming together in a collision between the newly entered right fielder Kensett and the second baseman Chelapika, and hopefully everyone's all right there as that ball drops foul. Feo, Kensett, and Chelapika all coming together trying to make a play, and a little bit of lack of communication there from the Hawks. And Wyke will have a second chance. That one will not be ruled an error. Tough play. Kensett gives the thumbs up. He's all right, which is good to see. He's already subbed in for an injured player. So Wyke getting a second life here. He pops it up pretty much to the same spot in the first base side. Feo's underneath it this time with no teammates to run into. And the side is retired. So 3 up, 3 down for Manitoba. We head to the bottom half of inning number 5 here at Beasley Field on High Button Sports. Welcome back to Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Beasley Field here. We're set for the bottom half of the 5th inning in this quarterfinal matchup. I'm Aiden Robertson here on High Button Sports. We thank you once again for tuning in and invite you to subscribe to this YouTube channel for live streams, podcast episodes, and anything in between. Follow our other social media handles on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok as well. We'd greatly appreciate it. And it'll be Jack Kensett, his first at-bat of the game, as Jaden Hum subbed out after fouling a ball off the inside of his leg back in the 3rd inning. Kensett hits that one to the left side, and how about that for your first at-bat of the game as it gets by a sliding Owen Harms. And a single for Kensett, much to the delight of the third base dugout. And Ben Sidorinios will dig in and see if he can advance his 9-spot hitter who's turned it over to him and done his job. Some signs from the third base coach here. Could be a bunt situation, could be a steal situation. Is a large lead from Kensett, who I haven't seen him run, but he certainly looks speedy and he looks ready to go. And he is going. The pitch, fastball grounded to the shortstop, so the hit and run was on. We'll keep him out of the double play as Harms flips it on to first. And a good call for the hit and the run, because otherwise that would have been a double play ball for the middle infielders of Manitoba. And instead will go down as a fielder's choice, and Kensett advances to second base. We'll bring in Reed Lunny, who's flown out to center and singled so far. Sporting the oven mitt in the back pocket. Base running protection. First pitch cut onto the right side, and that's going to get just foul, and it's a good thing as Sendin whiffed on that one. So it'll be an 0-1 count as some clouds now coming over Beasley Field, and the temperature has dropped significantly within the last 5 minutes. Matt Dudelet had no shirt on earlier, but he certainly has one on now. Might need a sweater, as he's shivering over there. Large lead from Kensett at second. And that pitch taken low for a ball. Counts even at 1-1. Kensett doing the old twinkle toes dance, trying to knock Corey off his game any way he can here. So any advantage is certainly worth it on a stage this big. So we were calling it the Memorial Cup of Baseball. Lots of action there. The second base leadoff from Kensett. He's not moving. Corey fires that one up and out. As a pitcher, it's tough to lock in when you've got all that movement in the corner of your eye. You're supposed to keep that runner in check, and you're also supposed to deliver a high-quality pitch to the batter. Not to mention, that's just the house league games I played growing up. Can't imagine being on a stage this big. Lots of pressure there, and there's a fastball in the outside corner, and a great pitch from Connor Corey. So the count draws even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. We've got 1 out. Kensett taking his lead off second. So a big spot the Manitoba would love to get out of and get the bats going in the top half of the 6th inning. Corey comes set. The pitch upstairs, and we've run full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Good battle here between 2 talented baseball players, Corey and Lunny. Payoff pitch is ready to go here as Corey gets his sign. Delivers. Breaking ball, and it missed. Down and away. So Lunny takes the free 90. And he will join his colleague Kensett, who's at second base now. CJ Morey, who had the single that got things going in the last inning in the 4th, will dig in and look to do just that. As a single would likely cash in Kensett from second base, depending on where it was hit. The double play situation is back in effect here, and they can step on the nearest bag. First pitch from Corey, fastball. Just inside, and it was close. It was very close, as it appeared from the broadcast booth anyways. 1-1 our score. Bottom of the 5th inning, quarterfinal matchup between Team Manitoba and one of the 2 Ontario representatives, as that pitch is taken upstairs. And Corey might have lost the command a little bit here. Not the first time we've seen it today, though. He's battled. Nychik gives him his signs. Corey shakes him off. Says, I don't think so, and there'll be time called as Team Manitoba wasn't on the same page there. This time they are on the same page. Corey delivers the pitch. Fastball ripped up the middle, and that's going to be trouble. Kenseth's being held up at third base. Just about blew through the stop sign, and a great throw from Wyke in center, who's shown he has some capabilities defensively. And that'll bring in Ethan Murdy, the big power bat for Newmarket, and he's got the bases loaded here following the single from C.J. Morey. The Manitoba pitching coach is going to come out for a visit here. Talk about the plan of attack. Certainly a big spot. Tie ball game, you're looking to get out of it any way you can. Strikeout or a double play situation for certain. We'll see what the message is here from the coach to his pitcher. Nychik giving the signals. I think Nychik might have noticed that Kenseth was getting a little bit aggressive on the bases. So, based on my knowledge from what that sign was, I would say be prepared for a snapback throw to third to try and get Kenseth on his secondary lead. But first will have to be the pitch from Corey delivering it to Murdy. And the first one's a changeup called strike. So a big spot. Corey looking to work out of a jam. He's ahead 0-1. He's off to a good start. That one misses up and away. Crowd getting consistently bigger here as the night goes on. People coming from different areas, and we're live here coast to coast, as I'm sure there are people from Manitoba and Ontario as well as Nova Scotia here tuned in. That pitch ripped to center field. It's going to be trouble. Wyke's moving in, though, and he's got a grab, and he's got an arm. The throw is going to hold Kenseth at third, and Darnell Wyke with that cannon of an arm in center field. And Kenseth had no choice but to retreat. So a massive second out for Team Manitoba. And Darnell Wyke has been a defensive stud so far in this one. That is a big out on a big bat there for Newmarket as Murdy set down. Jacob Chalapika now. Grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up and reached base. The first pitch is a breaking ball down and in the dirt. If I throw a ball that hard, my arm would fall off, so I don't know how Wyke has done it twice in one inning here. I would almost certainly be going in for surgery. The 1-0 pitch here fouled straight back off the mesh, and look out down there. The ball kid just about tramples a dog, trying to get to that one a little too quickly. So the count's even, 1-1 now. Long pause between pitches here for Corey, uncharacteristic of him. But he gets the sign he likes and he delivers. That one in the dirt and a great block by Nychik. And the last thing you want to do is allow that go-ahead run to score on a wild pitch. The count moves to 2-1 here. Some excellent defense from Team Manitoba in this inning. And they're looking to hold Newmarket scoreless here. That pitch fastball, and it just missed. Just missed, and Corey felt like he got squeezed on that one. So the count 3-1, and you almost certainly have to put one in the zone here. You can't walk in the go-ahead run if you're Corey. There's a pitch. It's a fastball. It's in there. So we have a big, big pitch here. The runners will be on the move with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Morey wanted a balk on first base, and there's a lot of yelling and screaming going on. He's got to focus on running here. So big pitch, bases loaded. Bottom of the 5th inning, go-ahead runs on 3rd. Corey set in the payoff. Swung on and hit to second base, but there's Dylan Duguay. And a massive out there to get out of the jam. So Team Manitoba holds Newmarket scoreless in the inning, and we remain tied heading to the 6th here on High Button Sports. Welcome back here to our High Button Sports live stream. Top of the 6th inning and the top of the order for Team Manitoba, the Elmwood Giants. Justin Scott will dig in. He had a single his last time up. It was then picked off at first base, and he'll foul the first pitch a mile high behind us and rattles off a cage somewhere. No action in either bullpen as both pitchers have been excellent so far this evening. Connor Corey escaping a big jam in the last inning, as you can hear some hooligans clanking and clashing around the bleachers behind us, making all kinds of noise. So apologies if you hear that on your broadcast, as the second pitch was taken for a strike on the outside part of the plate. On the 0-2, Lund working quickly again, breaking ball, and that one never came in. 1-2. As we see a Blue Nose tourist bus unloading some players to our left-hand side here. You got to think that's the Kitchener Panthers. And there's a pitch taken upstairs by Justin Scott. Count draws even, 2-2. Love seeing the old school buses transport the players to and from the field here this weekend. 2-2 pitch. Scott thought about it, but he held back in time, and there's not even going to be an appeal. So Newmarket knew. And the count's now full, and the Manitoba dugout is roaring. Payoff pitch. Ball 4 upstairs, and Justin Scott loves it. He will take his base. Obviously, you must be very careful of the pickoff this time. Can't be giving away outs here when you only have 6 left to give. Barring extra innings, that is, of course. Hopefully we'll get out of here at a decent hour this evening. After last night, the delays cost us to be here until about 11:45. As much as I love baseball, I don't love staying up that late. Scott takes his lead. Infield playing in as Duguay shows bunt. And he pulls back. Called strike regardless. So third baseman there, Morey, coming way in. About 10 feet away from the plate on that one. Duguay 0 for 2 as he grounded to short and popped out in foul territory to the first baseman in his previous 2 plate appearance. Scott's got to be careful of this pickoff move. Here it is, and he's back in plenty of time this time. So Manitoba obviously trying to get something going here with the small ball, whether it be it a stolen base or potentially a bunt here from Duguay. It's like I said, you're running out of time here to get the offense going. And you don't want to give Newmarket a tie ball game. You'd rather make them work back. Pitch delivered and cut on and missed. It was in the dirt. Duguay can't be happy with that one. So the count moves to 0-2. Lund working ahead has been efficient thus far tonight. He's got the 5 strikeouts. Beware of the pickoff move here as well. Not coming. Breaking ball. Oh, and it just missed. And the Newmarket dugout furious at that one. They feel they got squeezed on the inner part of the plate there. Third baseman Morey was jumping up and down. He was in such disbelief. So Lund will have to try it again, but it's going to be a pickoff move. Scott back standing up. So he's got a better read on it this time. And as you try to do in every aspect of life, you learn from your mistakes, you move on. We'll try the 1-2 once more. That one's a fastball, and that's too low. And the dugout on the third base side still giving it to our home plate umpire. You got to be careful not to get ejected here. Scott takes his lead off first. Lund checks him. Checks him twice. That pitch in at the knees. That's low as well. So a good job by Duguay to climb all the way back from down 0-2 to now 3-2. You wonder if they'll start the runner here. And if Scott's going to be moving on first motion with the lefty on the mound. Pickoff move as Newmarket certainly thought he'd be going on first movement. Easton Grieve up in the Manitoba bullpen. First bullpen action we've seen all night. And the delivery on the 3-2 is grounded to the left side. And it's whiffed on by the shortstop, Lunny. And so that will get Duguay aboard. And a great at-bat there as he climbed the ladder back from 0-2. And there'll be 2 aboard after the E6. So Scott on second. Duguay on first. And it looks like we are going to have a little bit of action here as the dugout's starting to move towards the bullpen on the third base side for Newmarket. Certainly pitch count getting up there for both arms. And it'll be Owen Harms with a single his last time up and a strikeout back in the first inning. He was stranded at third base back in the fourth. Was the only Manitoba batter to reach base in that inning. Newmarket looking for a ground ball here, and they'd love that right now. Pitch cut on and up the middle, and look out Lund. What a diving stop by Lunny. He steps on second and won't get the throw off. And Reed Lunny just saved the go-ahead run with an excellent diving stop on a ball hit hard up the middle. So Harms will take first base on the fielder's choice. Duguay will be out at second. 6 unassisted, and that'll certainly make up for the error previous. Reed Lunny, the Brock Badger, with an excellent play there. And Adam Sendin, the first baseman, will dig in as we see somebody in a 2003 Honda Civic rev their engine on the way by. The sweet sounds of Beasley, folks. Sendin takes the first pitch. It's a called strike in the inside part of the plate. We've got runners on the corners here as Harms is on first. Scott is on third now. Just one away. Newmarket's going to try and cut this run at the plate if they can't get the double play. Although it appears that not a double play depth at all, so they'll be happy with just one. Sendin rips it to the shortstop. Lunny's got it, and a base running mistake as Harms was way off of first base, and that is not an out you can give away here in the quarterfinal of a national championship. Harms might have thought there was 2 outs. I don't know what happened there, but regardless, a 6-3 double play on the lineout, and Newmarket keeps Manitoba off the board, so we're still deadlocked at 1 heading to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Getting ready here for the bottom half of the 6th inning, as I've learned by Matt Doodley let me know. Apparently I had missed in my blind spot that Harms took off on the pitch, so that makes it a much easier error to make on the base path. So criticism was undeserved there on my behalf. And Ashton Fay will get us going for the Newmarket Hawks. He'll dig in. And that pitch is popped up on the third base side. Craw has got a play. He's underneath it. Will make the grab. And on one pitch, there's one out here in the 6th inning for the Hawks. And we're going to have a pinch hitter here, as Ethan Boisvert will be out of the game, the designated hitter. And Aiden Ament, who we saw in the lineup a few times this weekend, will take his spot in the lineup, a left-handed batter. And we'll see what he's got for his first time facing Corey in this one. He takes the first pitch low. Ball 1. Second pitch hit up the middle, and Duguay's got a long way to go. He scoops it and throws it across the body. The throw is high, and it will be a single regardless, as that was a tough play for Duguay, and a good job by the first baseman Sendin to keep that from going over his head and potentially allowing Ament to advance to second. But he'll be aboard in his first at-bat of the game with a single, coming off the bench and doing his job. And Eric Lucas will dig in. So far, a ground out to shortstop and a fly out to left field. And looks like Ament's night is already over. So that is the definition of doing your job, coming off the bench, getting a hit, and then subbing out for the pinch runner, as Jacob Dean will take over at first base, pinch running. First pitch swung on and hit to the left side, and that's headed towards the Hawks bullpen and off the cage back there. So quickly, one strike. Grieve was warming up in the top half of this inning, excuse me. He, of course, the designated hitter today, so he can come in and Manitoba would forfeit the DH. We saw Grieve pitch on Thursday. This is the same pitching lineup they went with on Thursday. Corey followed by Grieve, and that pitch misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Umpire clean off the dish here at home plate. It was dirty from the stride of Lucas at the plate. It's all cleaned up now. Picture perfect. Corey will get the signs and deliver the big 1-1 pitch with Dean taking his lead at first. And that one ripped up the middle. Harms makes a play. He'll step on second, and throw is caught and in time. What a play! Owen Harms with an excellent play to step on the bag, take the slide from Dean, throws the ball in a one-hop squeeze from Sendin there. I didn't think he had it, but he held on to it, and Owen Harms is putting on a defensive clinic. And so is the entire Manitoba roster as they keep Newmarket off the board. And we will head to the 7th inning here, tied at 1 on High Button Sports. All set here for the 7th inning. Could potentially be the final inning, but as of right now, we are deadlocked at 1. Great matchup here between Ontario's Newmarket Hawks and Team Manitoba's Elmwood Giants. And we're going to have a discussion here about pitch count. It sounds like Lund is potentially running close to his limit here, as the Manitoba coach just wanted to double check at what he was at. From what I picked up, it sounded like they thought he had 1 pitch left, but we shall see. Anytime your starting pitcher can get you into the 7th, it certainly puts you in a good spot to win a ball game. And both teams, this is a coin flip at this point. And the Manitoba dugout is on their feet here, and why wouldn't you be? Quarterfinal on the national stage, and the 7th is underway with a drive to right field, and Craw has drilled this one, but at the track, it is going to be caught by the center fielder, who is Ben Sidorenios. Excuse me for the delay there. I had to sift through my notes. That one looked like off the bat it might have had a chance. And a sigh of relief on the mound for the pitcher, Jared Lund, as a deep, deep fly out, but all the same, it is an out. So Easton Grieve, the DH, and that one gets by him. It was inside, as Lund can't find the release point there. So a big catch there by Sidorenios in center field. That was trouble off the bat, and a good play on the track. The 1-0 called strike at the knees. Grieve doesn't love it, but I'm sure if he comes into this ball game, he'd love getting that call himself. So not much of an argument to be had there. And the 1-1 from Lund, cut on and hit to the shortstop, and Reed Lunny with a diving catch. And this has been a clinic on how to play shortstop here tonight, folks. Have seen not much better defense in my days than the two shortstops, Owen Harms and Reed Lunny, going back and forth, trying to one-up each other here tonight. Reed money, Matt Dudelet says. Again, his second play on words here on the broadcast. And so with 2 away, Owen Nychik, the catcher. So Jared Lund still on the mound here, so that one pitch that I heard must have been wrong, and he missed that one just upstairs. There is some action down in the Newmarket bullpen. We'll try and see who that is now. Looks like Tyler Chong getting loose. We saw him play some shortstop earlier in the tournament. That pitch in the outside corner to Nychik, 1-1. Chong, a nominee in the all-flow team here that we have at High Button Sports. Lund comes set to the roars of the Manitoba dugout. That pitch upstairs, and the Giants like it. If you're the Giants, you certainly want to try and take the lead here in the top half of the 7th. You don't want to give Newmarket a chance to walk it off in the bottom with just 1 run. You'd like to make them earn it. But they're in tough with 2 outs, and that one's popped to the right side. That's going to go into the track, and one fan puts his hand up half-heartedly trying to make a play on that one. But he's going to stay laid down on the grass. Looks like Williamsport here with the people laying out in the grass on the right field line, similar to the Little League World Series. And the 1-2 pitch cut on back to Lund. Lund will squeeze it, and the underhand toss will be in time. So if that is the end of the night for Jared Lund, what an outing it was, as he goes 7 innings and gives his team a chance to walk it off in the bottom half. We'll be back, and we'll see if we have some dramatics here on High Button Sports. Connor Corey on the mound for the bottom half of the 7th inning here at picturesque Beasley Field. Easton Grieve heading to the bullpen to get his warm-ups in, as you think Corey is probably getting close to his pitch count as well. And this has been a pitcher's duel. Neither team having to use a second pitcher just yet. And we are ready to go here. Newmarket with a chance to walk it off with just one run and advance to the semifinal here at the U22 National Championship. Manitoba looking to push this one to extras. As the first pitch called, striking the outside part of the plate to Jack Kensett, who's playing right field. His last time up, he had a single. That was his first at bat of the ball game, coming in as a substitution for Hums. That pitch cut onto the left side, and it's fielded, and a whiff by Owen Harms, who's had a great day defensively. Made a tough play there, and as he went to throw the ball popped out behind him. Reminiscent of Melky Cabrera on the Blue Jays several years back. So Kensett will take his base. We'll see how that one's scored. Believe it is being scored an E6. Kensett, the speed threat, was stranded with the bases loaded last time he reached, and that pitch missed just high. Back in the 5th inning, Newmarket left the bases loaded. They had them loaded with one out. And that was an excellent opportunity, which would, at this point, they would have won the game, as Ben Sidorenios will foul this one off. Count 1-1 after that foul ball. Showing bunt to Sidorenios, and he fouls this one off. So the count moves to 1-2. Kensett being fairly cautious with his lead off of first base. Last thing you want to do is run into an out on the base path, especially when you represent the winning run and the run that could get you to the semifinals and have a date with either Fredericton or Dartmouth in tomorrow's semi. And a pickoff move there, as Corey's a little bit worried about him. Back in plenty of time was Kensett. So tomorrow, beginning at 10 a.m., we will have Fredericton playing their semifinal. And then 1 p.m. here at Beasley, you'll have the Dartmouth semifinal, followed by the bronze medal game at 4 o'clock. And at 7 o'clock, you will have the gold medal game here at Beasley Field. We'll have all the coverage on High Button Sports, and we will crown a national champion tomorrow evening. The 1-2 is fought off by Sidorenios, and Sendon's looking to have a play, but it is into the bleachers and caught on a hop by a Manitoba father down there. So Sidorenios will have another chance, as the sun on its way down here, peeking through and blinding me off the reflection of the glass here in the broadcast booth. So the sunglasses are going back on. And we'll try the 1-2 once more here. Running up the pitch count here for Corey, which is probably what you want to do if you're Newmarket. Get a fresh arm that maybe you can get anything off of, because it's been unsuccessful for Corey, as that pitch is just upstairs. And Nichik, like that pitch spot. Trying to get a swing and a miss, but a good job to lay off by Sidorenios. So the count moves to 2-2. Kensett getting a good lead off of first. Fastball upstairs again. The count's full. And now the question becomes, if you are the Hawks, do you send the runner and try and get out of the double play here with the count full? For up to me, I would stay out of that double play, because nothing kills an offense more than that. Sidorenios, the leadoff hitter, presumably a speed threat. Would be tough to get him anyways. Kensett's going. Pitch upstairs for ball 4. So Sidorenios will climb back from 1-2 and made Corey earn that one, as he's walked here. So now there'll be 2 on here for Reed Lunny, who's been stellar defensively. And we're going to have a mound visit here from Team Manitoba. So with nobody out, this is a big spot. You're looking to get any outs you can, And we'll see if that spells the end of the night for Corey. It doesn't appear so. That's the right thing to do. He's earned the right to take the decision in this ball game. Win or loss. It's been a masterclass of pitching here this evening. And that is going to spell the end of the night here for Connor Corey, and he leaves to an ovation from both sides faithful, and what an outing it was. We will see Easton Grieve come out of the bullpen in probably the biggest spot of his young career when we come back here on High Button Sports. Back here as Easton Grieve warms up for Team Manitoba in a big spot. That'll close the book on Connor Corey, albeit he's responsible for the runners on first and second, and is the pitcher that would take credit for the loss should Newmarket find a way to walk them off here. But his final line, 6+ innings, 3 strikeouts, just 1 walk, 6 hits, and just the 1 run. It was earned. So a heck of an outing there by Connor Corey, and that will likely close the book on his Nationals here, as he won't be eligible to pitch tomorrow, of course. And what an outing to end off on. You can't ask for more than that. Flying all the way from Manitoba. Come out here and pitch well on Thursday night and delivered an absolute beauty tonight. And we'll see if his defense can get him out of this situation and buy the Giants an 8th inning. It's not going to be easy, as they have to face Reed Lunny now, who's 1 for 2 with a walk, so he's reached base twice, He's played excellent in the field. A couple nice diving plays. And if they're going to get out of it, they're going to get out of it facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for this Hawks club. Grieve will get one more warm-up pitch here. And we are ready to go. So a tough spot. I'm on the edge of my seat, and my gut is wrenched with nerves, so I can't imagine how these players playing the game feel, and this is much respect to everybody involved here this weekend. They've put on a great show, and we've been in for a treat here. So far, let's see what we have for a finish. Grieve comes set. And time called by Nychik, I believe, the catcher. He wants to make sure the defense is playing correctly. And we are set to go, as it looked like nobody knew who was calling time there, but we're good to go now. Grieve is ready. Showing bunt is Lunny, and that's a called strike in the outside corner. Lunny, a good hitter, but of course, in this spot, you do whatever you can for your team. And if that means sacrificing an out, you sacrifice that out. Third baseman has to play a normal depth. First baseman will come in. Infield still looking to turn 2. Lunny showing bunt. He gets it down. The pitcher will field it. Grieve going to 3, and they got him. What a heads-up play by Easton Grieve there to get Kinset at third base on the fielder's choice. And so instead of that winning run at third base, he'll be held to second. So an excellent play by Grieve to team up with Craw, and there is one away. As you can hear the helmet slam there by Kinzet, upset of the result of that. So with one away, it'll bring in the third baseman, C.J. Morey, who has 2 singles today, but also caught looking way back in the first inning. There's a pitch. Called a ball outside. 1-0. You can hear a pin drop here, folks. Everybody eagerly awaiting the results of this inning. Grieve comes set with a long pause. Morey takes that one at the knees for a strike, so Grieve draws back even, 1-1. Infield playing pretty far back, double play depth up the middle, of course, with Harms and Duguay. They aren't worried about Morey dropping down a bunt, as he's one of the best hitters that the Hawks have, of course, in the 3 spot. The 1-1. Just misses the outside part of the plate. The umpire thought about it, but to no avail. So the count moves to 2-1. Grieve came into a similar spot on Thursday, and he struggled with base runners on in his first inning of work, and then he settled in when he was pitching out of the windup and delivered a great 3 2/3 innings. He's looked sharp thus far in the 2-1 pitch. There's a fastball ripped to the right side. There's nobody there. It's going to be a difficult play. Scott throwing home. We have a play at the plate here. Safe, and that's the ball game. Nychik thinks he had him, but the ball game is over as Sidorenios comes in to score, and the Hawks win this one in walk-off fashion. An RBI single from C.J. Morey to the right-hand side will do it, and a great ball game here in the first quarterfinal at the U22 Nationals. And we have a bit of a scene here. Some hollering and some screaming from everyone. And a little bit of a dispute here and some screaming and yelling, but that all seems to be sorted. And of course, the frustration from Team Manitoba as they played a heck of a ball game and a great outing from their pitcher. And that's baseball, folks. A seeing eye single to the right side and a close bang-bang play at the plate. And that's the human element of the game. Stay tuned here as we'll go through the player of the game. Should be fairly easy, I'd say. The starting pitcher for each team. Relatively obvious choices. Although they may have already received it, which sometimes has implications. As we just await the announcement here. So the Newmarket Hawks advancing to the semifinal tomorrow on the walk-off single from C.J. Morey. And Connor Corey gets the player of the game here for Team Manitoba. And our eye in the sky, we just checked out the video replay from our High Button Sports Cam here. And our unofficial thoughts are that Sidorenios was indeed in there at the plate. It appeared to be the correct call by the umpire. Not that it matters at this point. Newmarket's player of the game, of course, is going to be Jared Lund. So the starting pitchers each pitching into the 7th inning. And great outings respectively. So another great ball game here. We've been treated to a bunch of them. And a couple heartbreaking losses here from Team Manitoba this weekend. None more heartbreaking than that. But nothing to hang their heads on as they put forward a spectacular effort and fought till the very last pitch, until C.J. Morey walked it off with a seeing eye single to the right-hand side. And that'll do it for a coverage of the first quarterfinal. We ask that you please join us for the second quarterfinal. My colleague Jeff Warburton will be back to bring you the Pickering Panthers, who will be taking on the PEI All-Star team. But for now, that will do it here on behalf of the crew at High Button Sports. My name is Aiden Robertson. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see